I'm a surgeon, and I've seen the wounded and the dead ones in several countries in Africa, in Asia, Middle East, in Latin America, in Europe. And I personally did surgery on several thousands of patients, injured by bullets, by shrapnel, by bombs from rockets. I did surgery on many children injured by the so-called toy mines, small plastic green butterflies the size of a pack of cigarettes. Scattered in the fields, these weapons wait for a curious child to pick them up. It took me a lot of time to accept the fact and the idea that war strategy could include practices like deliberately maiming children in the enemy's country. Weapons designed not to kill, but to inflict horrific sufferings to innocent children. Even today, those children are for me the living symbol of contemporary wars, a persistent form of terrorism towards the civilian populations. So the question arises, is this the enemy? Who pays the price of war? Over the years, Emergency has built surgical hospitals for war victims in Rwanda, in Cambodia, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Sierra Leone, in many other countries. Because treating the wounded is neither generous nor merciful. It's simply just. It has to be done. In 21 years of activity, Emergency provided medical and surgical care to more than 6.5 million people. A drop in the ocean, you might say, but that drop made a difference for many. Regardless who was fighting against whom and for which reason, the result was always the same. War was nothing else than killing civilians, death and destruction. The indissoluble link between human rights and peace and the relation of mutual exclusion between war and human rights were also stressed in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, signed back in 1948. At the beginning of the new millennium, there are no rights for all, but privileges for few. And the single and most aberrant, widespread, and persistent violation of human rights is the practice of war. Shall we put an end to the human race, or shall mankind renounce war? Conceiving a world without war is the most stimulating task the human race is facing. We might call it utopia, as this never occurred before. However, the term utopia does not designate something absurd, but rather a possibility that still has to be explored and accomplished. Many years ago, even the abolition of slavery seemed utopian. That utopia became true. This must penetrate deeply in our consciousness, until the idea of war becomes a taboo, expelled from the human culture and from the human history. Receiving the Right Livelihood Award encourages me personally and Emergency as a whole to multiply our efforts, caring for the victims and promoting a cultural movement for the abolition of war. I appeal to all of you, working together for a world without war is the best we can do for the generations to come.